why are you here? Because, I'm jumping through the, through the office, and I'm twirling all the time, and, was still
splits.
taking classes, and I was still doing some performances here and there in Orlando. So dance has always been the core of me, has always been what has kept me grounded and kept me moving. So I just basically, wrote some stuff down, because they say if you have things that you want to come to fruition, write it down and watch it show up. So I just came to a point where it was like, I love school psychology. However, it wasn't giving me the fulfillment that I now feel now. So,
wow.
so I decided to teach, that I would want to teach dance, and more so to our community, to a community that may be underrepresented and underserved in the art of dance.
But so what impact did your previous career as a lady psychologist have on the work that you did? I mean, did it help you maybe, serve them better or teach them better, or?
I would say it did, because even, at school where, there's a school psychologist for, on campus.
Yeah, because there's so much going on.
But there
with
is
kids
so much
generally.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to be able to have the background to, sit and talk to them and help them calm down if they get, to a state of being upset, or we have like behavioral problems, being able to address that within the classroom, and just to be able to kind of communicate with them, to understand, the different levels and where they are at different ages and stages of their life. So to kind of be able to sit down with them and create a comfort zone, a safe space for them to have somebody to come and talk to and rely on there on campus, outside of maybe the clinicians that are based on campus.
And that's really interesting too, because when I was, getting ready for the show today, and I was looking at your social media pages and stuff, and I'm looking at all the little ladies and all their, their facial expressions and stuff. They just seem like they're really happy, focused, connected. And that's what you want to see in children.
Because for me, it is about the training, but it's more so about the whole child. So yes, I'm here to teach you dance, but I'm also here to uplift you. I'm also here for you to cry on my shoulder. I'm here to laugh with you. I'm here to make you understand that you're not alone. Although, they're children, of course, but because I am still much twirling, and, I have my own little personality going on, I feel like we still are able to relate. And so it's definitely about giving them, again, the technique of dance, but more so making sure that when they do leave, they have self-esteem, they're aware of who they are, they're confident in who they are, and they're able to then go in any realm, whether it's still related to dance or not, and feel like they're supposed to be there with purpose.
So are most of your students, black and brown? And the reason I ask is because, as some of you listeners may recall, the former segregated industrial high school is now the formerly segregated Palmview Elementary. Now it's, a school of the arts. Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering, so because that's a black neighborhood that had been a black school, are all of your kids black and brown?
Pretty much. Yeah, they all are.
And you love that.
And I love that. I love all children, however.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong, like the people say. But for me, especially growing up in dance here in Palm Beach County, I remember feeling alone, being the only child of color, being, not having teachers that look like me. And again, as I mentioned, going to New York.
That's a good point.
And being at Alien, seeing, strong bodies, seeing, dancers with muscles, and shapes, we'll say.
And big old black girl booties.
She said that, and I'll just say I agree. So, and I knew what that did for me and my confidence to see that and to know that although when I come back here, I'm not going to look like these people, and they may not understand me, there are people out there that do. So it's very important for me to, again, to help all children, but to really make sure that I'm giving my community, giving people who look like me, giving people who want to do the things that I've done, an opportunity to see somebody that looks like them doing what it is that they want to do.
Yes, I love that. And are most of your students female, or are some of the young men, as a certain state representative said, are some of them bati boys?
Oh, okay.
Are they necessary?
Who said that?
Yeah.
Well, as far as with
Not
soul movement,
necessarily,
I don't have any young men. However, men can dance too. We need the strong ones to lift us up. Yes. At the school, however, I do work with boys, so I am able to work with them if I have them, to work with. So I'm
And
open
so
to that.
if I had a son and he was interested in dance, I should not assume that he's a party boy.
Miss Maron, could I jump in here for a second?
Yes.
Oh,
I gotta
Come on
ask
in,
that
Miss
question.
Miss
How do you encourage? Because I'm Trinidadian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in Trinidad and Jamaica and in the Caribbean, the boys dance.
Mm-hmm.
They get into they do their cultural dances, but the boys dance, and they're
Yes.
not necessarily sweet or gay or whatever you want to call it. They're not necessarily that way. It's just that they enjoy dance and they want to continue the culture of dance, so they actually get involved. How do you
Work it in.
get them encouraged?
It's difficult. I will say, because when they're younger, our parents are a little bit more open. As they get older, I think that stigma does come into play. And me,
Parents assume that if a son is interested in dance, he's got to be.
Yes. Or I've even had parents think that if they were to start dancing, then they will become that, but then I try to relate it to them in the sense of sports. And even a lot of the boys that I work with at school who are like, this is lame, I try to apply what we do to this is how this can help you on the football field. This is how this can help you, in basketball, because now you will be able to have the agility needed. You'll be able to shift and move when you're trying to, I have to demonstrate because I don't know terms, and they realize it. But I kind of draw them in that way. And as far as parents, I think you just have to be open-minded, and I'll have the conversation. I'm very frank with my parents as to the fact that it's a discipline. Dance is a sport. You have to train for it just as you would with football, basketball, soccer, anything like that. And again, it's the culture. I mean, if you look back to, to Africa, we were dancing in circles together. You know what I mean? Like it's beyond, take away all of that and just look at the pure enjoyment that your child is having in doing this.
And maybe that perception came from the fact that, when you look at, the dance industry that predates today, all of the men who were jumping around were so maybe that's why people
absolutely
have the perception
absolutely, and I understand that, but I also say, look at how strong these men are. Look at the men that are on stage. They're picking up women, throwing them over here, catching them on this side and coming back, so again, it's, you are who you are. Dance isn't going to make you this or make you that. If it's in you, it's in you.
Right.
So I think you have to just look at it. This is something that they enjoy doing. This is something that they're good at. And there's ways you can make money from it. And it, again, can make you a better person, whether it's on a football field or just in general life, because the discipline that is taught in dance is something that has helped me that has carried over and has helped me to become who I am today. So it's, just having the conversation, being open-minded. And if you start to see something in your little, your young man that you're not liking, let's see if it's really dance or if it's really them. That's all I can give.
That's
on
a good
that.
point, though.
Yeah.
And you teach jazz,
I do.
dance, ballet, modern, but not twerking, so to speak.
Yes,
So why not? Why don't you teach that?
Well, because
especially with all of the big old black girl booties.
Right. Well, because I am looking to teach the art. The art of dance, which then goes back to more technical forms of dance. And we're looking at, that's why I focus more so on ballet and jazz and modern. But again, those dancers who have those techniques under their belt become even better dancers, if it is a hip hop dancer or a twerker, because again, it aligns your body. You're aware of your body and space. It gives you those things that you're going to need, and it makes you more versatile. I mean, Beyonce's dancers, a lot of the girls at, UB Kinsey or even my Soul Movement girls are like, I want to do that. Okay, but they don't understand that Beyonce's dancers are trained dancers. They're not just coming, out the street, and because they can pop, 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 cat.
Right.
She hired them. So, that's just my lane. Now, there's a lane for twerking. There's a lane for, other styles of dance that is, I see offered in our community and everywhere. It's just not my preference. Children see me and assume, oh, you teach hip hop. I don't. Now, I have some people that do that I can, bring forward to help you with that. That's just not my foundation and my training base. But yeah, so it's just I'm giving them what I'm able to give. I'll say that.
Okay, and you're not pushing the twerk.
No, I am not pushing twerking. However, again, I know that there's avenues for it, just not quite over here.
Okay. Now, another dance type that y'all teach is called Afrofusion.
Yes.
What is Afrofusion?
So Afrofusion is pretty much a culmination of, there's some African, there's some more Caribbean style. So kind of bringing that all together. I know some of us, I'm sure people listening are familiar with Afro beats. So, some of that type of dancing that goes on. There's still the movement of the hips, the movement of the shoulders, getting your groove. So it's essentially that. The young lady that teaches it, and we actually added that to the curriculum over during this time because, again, as was mentioned earlier, we were virtual. She's actually out of Atlanta. So she was coming into my virtual series, and she was offering the class. And as we're preparing for our fall season, which starts in September, if we remain virtual, the goal is to actually have her to continue to teach that during that time. So it's a fun class. Anybody can do it. She starts off with like some low impact cardio stuff. So there's a little bit of workout in it. And then she goes through the different technical terms that may be related to your more African based dance. And it's pretty fun. I mean, everybody, like I said, everybody can do it. It's fun.
Even you and me, Marion.
Oh, even the young ladies here
Young
can.
at heart. Even
Yes, the young at heart. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That we are.
I don't know, and I'm still trying to think. I mean, if I wanted to learn how to twerk, who do I call?
The twerk masters.
So here's the deal. She's gonna teach you the foundation, right?
Yes.
Then you'll have more muscle awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have more muscle awareness, then you can start to isolate and understand the foundations of twerking. Did I put that technical
Yeah,
enough
and
for
you definitely did. Come through. If you need a job, let me know.
And speaking of that, I wonder, as we talk about, going forward, in the education field, as I'm sure you're aware, the Palm Beach County School Board, decided that, we're going to focus on distance learning here in the beginning. And I wonder how you feel about that, because what you do is so important to be in the same room together. So what do you, what's your sense of that? I mean, do you think that's a good idea, or do you think?
I understand in the state that we're in. So I think it's very necessary because, of course, we want everybody to be safe. Like, that's first and foremost. Regarding, teaching dance, because, the thing is that, we talk about, you teaching a class, say, for example, your science class where, you have a textbook and you're sitting at a desk.
Right.
Or even teaching, music, they're still sitting down with their instrument in a stand. You can do that in an isolated space. But when you think about dance, the concern that comes forth for me is just their ability to really partake in the class.
Yeah.
Having the space to do so. During the time that when we had to transition over to virtual learning, once the pandemic kind of came through, I had kids in their bedrooms. I see a bed, a desk, a chair, and their little bodies trying to make it work, but then I had kids who may have had to be outside, or, parents cleared out living room space. So it creates some difficulty in that way. And of course with dance too, because you're talking about a technique, you want to make sure you can kind of put your hands on them in a sense to shift their bodies the way that they need to be shifted. So, we're definitely trying to figure it all out. I was actually just speaking to, an administrator from the school earlier today, and just coming up, with some possible ideas of how we can make this work as best as possible. But of course, the safety is, our concern for teachers, and children,
students,
of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a curveball. But I think because we've been doing it, you just have to do a lot of repetition, a lot of demonstrating. I'm feeling my body, I must say, because I'm like, y'all know if we was in school, I would not be showing this 15 times, but okay. So having to, demonstrate certain things, over and over again. I've had some of my soul movement girls come here and there to kind of use their little bodies so that they can kind of see, because, it is something that has to do with, muscle memory and understanding where your body is and what it's doing and what it feels like when it's right versus when it's wrong. So it's going to be a task. I mean, I'm up for the challenge, but I'm just trying to find ways to make it work more so for them to actually get something from it.
And so in terms of what you do, which is what you just described, I mean, so what would be your preference in terms of trying to teach them in a healthy way? Is there a way to do that? Or maybe if they just have on their mask and some gloves?
Well, and I will say from teaching classes with mask on, it's, a little tiresome. It's tough.
Yeah.
Because I taught at a 2-week summer program with the dance studio here locally, and they had it in house, but the teachers and the students actually were in masks, and it was a feat. I mean, we were able to do it, but it's a lot of breaks. It's a lot of, what did you say? Because as we all know, with these masks on, you can't hear, the sweating and trying to, it was a lot. And then for us, even, at UB Kinsey, our studio space is very small. So when we think about, for example, just a full fine arts class of, say, 20 fifth graders, how do you really social distance that? So, and I would love for us to be back, in person for the sake of what dance needs to be, but I also just don't foresee how it's going to work. It'd have to be some serious scheduling, going on to ensure that we're able to limit the amount that are in the room.
Now, you did have the virtual classes all summer, as I mentioned earlier, but I'm just curious, how did it go? How did the virtual classes go? Were you able to...
It went well. Like I said, at the beginning of it all, I was a little concerned of what are we going to do here? But what it did is that it actually allowed me to reach out and connect with other dancers in New Jersey, in Atlanta, and places of that, or people who were teaching different things that I had been offering. Because of that platform, we're able to easily just log everybody on, and pretty much, if you're there, you're focused. So we didn't have much issue, honestly. We were able to, they asked questions, we gave corrections. Again, like I said, repetition regarding what we were doing, so they could understand what was going on, the students, that is. So it went really well, and honestly, it wouldn't be that bad as long as we have again, if they have the space at home and if they're able to understand what I'm having them to do.
All right. And in our last few minutes, tell us what you got coming up, Soul Stage. What is that?
So Soul Stage is actually the performance group for Soul Movement, and we're actually holding virtual auditions at this time. We're looking for young ladies between the ages of 11 and 18. Whether you are already trained or just interested in dancing, we have a place for you. And essentially, like I said, it's our performance group. The video submissions are due by August the 14th. Okay. You can email those to Soul Movement Artistry. Again, that's soulmovementartistry@gmail.com. We're just asking for the young ladies to state their name, their age, and what school they attend, and then submit a 1-minute solo.
But what about the Batty Boys? You said just the ladies. Oh, sorry.
I didn't. Again, who said that?
Sorry.
Again,
I was only kidding.
Yeah, she said it. Yes, young men as well. I'm so sorry. Yes. All my young men, 11 to 18 as well. Or even younger, reach out to me on Instagram at soulmovement.artistry. On Facebook, it's just Soul Movement LLC. Inbox me, let me know what I can help you with. And we'll be starting our season regularly for our classes September 12th. So on all of those platforms, you'll be seeing information regarding registration and things of that nature.
I love what you do.
I love what I do as well. I'm just saying. No, I genuinely do. It's definitely a purpose, a purposeful mission. I always say it's definitely it's not about the money. It's just about giving back to my community. It's about seeing smiles on little girls' faces. It's about giving them a safe space to be creatively them. Like it's just all of that for me. So it's really something like beyond the dollar bill. Like it's really just about community and giving back.
Perfect. Samantha Cyprian, the founder of Soul Movement. Okay, thank you so much for coming on to Coco Chats. And tell us before we end, the telephone number, website, how people can contact you real quick.
Website, movewithsoul.com. Phone number, area code 225-268-0991. Instagram, soulmovement.artistry. Facebook, Soul Movement LLC. Type Soul Movement, it'll come up. Right. Okay. We here.
God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank y'all for tuning in too. Thank you, Miss Jillian.
I'm not done yet. So, you said 18 How old? 11 to 18.
Well, total, though,
So
3
if we
to
take a
18.
squiggly line that's in front of a 6 or a 5, and we straighten that squiggly line out, and can I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, and honestly, I am, and I know we have to go, but I would love to do adult classes. The thing is, adults can be finicky, but if I have enough that are willing to do it, I'm open to it. I'm open to it all. I literally want to give everybody dance. The hashtag is giving them dance. So I want to give
what
you
she's
that
about. Yep.
dance.
Not twerking though.
Oh goodness.
Thank
Well,
y'all
maybe a
for
little bit on the
tuning in.
side.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to Coco Chats. We are done for the day.
No, we're
Appreciate it. Oh, we're not?
30 seconds. So,
Oh,
Marion,
sorry. Oh.
where can they get information for Coco Chats? Yeah, 15 seconds.
Where can I get that?
Yeah, what's your
Co-
website?
Coco Wire, COCOWire.net.
All right.
Marion Dozier, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a great show, Marion. We got like 5 more seconds. Thank you so much. I
Thank
love you, Miss Cyprian. Tell
I
your mama I
love
said
you.
hi.
And I definitely will. I will. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, that's what she's a daughter of a long-time educator, so of course. Oh,
That was great.
That was quick.
I know.
Hopefully, I know my phone kept cutting off. My friend can cut it up.
What?
So they make a little. No, my
Oh, make a
phone
little
kept
video.
going off here and there.